We all know and love the game series called Dark Souls. Especially with all 3 games of the Souls series, including other From Software games, like Sekiro, Bloodborne and Elden Ring, we learn to love and hate fighting the well-made bosses. Well, some more well-made than the other, but that's not the point. Yeah, I'm looking at you, you piece of shit. I just generally hate them. Well, but you gotta rate them, am I right? That's why I'm here today, to rate all bosses in Dark Souls 1. So, I'm going to rate every boss by looking at the difficulty, the arena, and overall how enjoyable the boss is. In the end, I'm going to give them an Asus Flask rating from 1 to 10. Before we begin, don't forget to check out my homie Gichui. He did the same thing but with Dark Souls 3. Alright, let's begin with the first boss. First off, we have one popular knight of the 4 Knights of Gwyn, Artorias the Abysswalker. I must say, he really was a pain in the ass. I've spent almost 20 tries trying to learn and predict his attack pattern, only to see that he's just going to one-shot me. Adapting to his moveset was difficult at first, but trust me, you'll get the hang of it. Looking at his arena, there's plenty of space to fight against Artorias. Normally you shouldn't have any problems with the camera being stuck in a wall, or just not having enough space to dodge. Overall, Artorias was quite enjoyable, and to be honest, the soundtrack is just a masterpiece, and I was motivated every time I went through the fog gate to fight him over and over again. As you can see, I was really happy when I beat him. So, judging every point, I would give him a rating of 9 out of 10 Asus Flasks. The second boss on the list is our beloved Asylum Demon, our standard tutorial boss who we all fought against. When I started the game, I struggled with him. Not gonna lie, I had no idea there was this door which leads to the stronger sword, but nowadays he's just a piece of cake. His arena is normal size, but sometimes the camera is just going nuts. Overall, he's so freaking easy, I would just count him as a mob. Anyway, I would give him a rating of 6 out of 10 Asus Flasks. I mean, he's the tutorial boss, you somehow gotta get into the boss fighting. Up next, we have the Bell Gargoyles, the first boss who actually has to do something with the storyline. Because after you're done fighting this boss, you climb up the tower to ring the first bell. But let's get to the rating. The Gargoyles have an insane difficulty at first. I remember dying to these guys at least 30 times. Interesting as well is that it's the first gank boss fight in your way. You can actually cut off his tail to get the Gargoyle axe. I used the Drake Sword to deal a little bit more damage. You really gotta watch out when a second Gargoyle jumps into the arena. Their fire breath just deals an insane amount of damage and can stun lock you. Looking at his arena, it's actually pretty open, so plenty of space to dodge. Overall, I didn't enjoy this boss as much as you would think. Well, you can't really split the aggro of the two, which is in my opinion essential for gank bosses. I would give the Gargoyles a 5 out of 10 Asus Flask rating. Here we have another DLC boss, Black Dragon Kalameet. But well, without the help from our homie Hawkeye Goth, we wouldn't be able to fight him on ground. I mean, this giant just 360 no-scopes the dragon out of the sky. But oh boy, this does not make the fight any easier. I mean, Kalameet's spin attack can literally one-shot you with half HP. This big dragon definitely was also a pain in the ass. But I actually enjoyed it though. Well, kinda at least. His hitbox is normally just his whole freaking body, which is very annoying, especially when he flies around like the dragon he is. But gladly, the arena's just perfect to fight a dragon his size. He's difficult though. I hardly had time to adapt to his moveset, and even in my last try I struggled to keep up with it. Anyway, I would respectfully give him a rating of 7 out of 10 Asus Flasks. So, first of freaking all, Capra Demon. Alright, this freaking run-up cost all my nerves. Like bro, how did the devs think this is a good idea? Looking at the difficulty, Capra Demon is really easy. The only problem are the 2 dogs in this small godforsaken arena. Like bro, where should I go? I definitely did not enjoy this boss. The run-up is hell and then you enter the fog gate only to get smashed by some more doggos. I would give him a 2 out of 10 Asus Flask rating. No more talking about Capra Demon. Like the speedrunner that I am, I did not fight Ceaseless Discharge normally. I used one of the, in my opinion, funniest glitch in this game. Generally, I think he's indeed a hard boss to deal with. I've seen some gameplay, and I think he is pretty difficult. His arena gets bigger and it's adapted to his size. It's not just the small path in the beginning. Overall, I had a lot of fun doing the glitch, so I would give him a 6 out of 10 Estus Flask rating. Next up we have the Centipede Demon. I actually did not glitch him because, let's be honest, this boss fight is very easy. But pro tip, cut off his tail and he will drop the orange charred ring, which is very useful later on, trust me. But be careful though, cause the tail will have its own HP bar after you cut it off, so be sure to hit it once more. The arena is really small and hard to adapt to if you're not as lucky as I was. Generally he's a pretty decent boss and I would give him a rating of 6 out of 10 Estus Flasks. The next boss is also a story relevant boss, just like the Gargoyles. Beyond this beautiful mixture of a spider and a woman lies the second bell, which needs to be rung by us. Of course, it is the Chaos Witch Quelaag. So, I don't know if it's just me, but why is Quelaag so easy? I thought against her with and without Mildred and I still had no trouble at all. Looking at the arena, the size is decent. Sometimes there are some space problems because of the lava she shoots, but nothing too serious. All in all, I enjoyed fighting Quelaag, even though I would have wished for a little bit more difficulty. Overall, she deserves a 7 out of 10 Estus Flask rating. On the 9th place we have the only dragon crossbreed in Lordran, found within the painted world of Ariamis. Basically, she is a furry with scales. It is Crossbreed Priscilla. She's actually an optional boss, because after talking to her you can simply walk past her and jump back out of the painting. Anyway, I still fought against her. She's easy, like legit just easy. She has an ability to be invisible, but that's not a problem at all. Just shoot an arrow at her and you can see the arrow. Her arena is small but adapted to her size and attack pattern. Overall, I enjoyed fighting against her, even though I feel kinda bad for her as well. She gets a 6 out of 10 Estus Flask rating. Next up we have the last born of Lord Gwyn, Dark Sun Gwyndolin. He is the leader of the Blade of the Dark Moon Covenant. Due to magic and interfering with the moon, he was raised as a daughter. Gwynevere, his sister, is actually an illusion to help him guard over Anor Londo. But despite his lore, he is actually an optional boss as well. I had to use a glitch to get into his arena, but it worked, and also on my first try. Sometimes he's shooting magic spells or he uses a bow to shoot arrows. I really like that the arena is an illusion of the never-ending halls of Anor Londo. I got limited enjoyment out of this boss. Basically it's the same thing over and over again. But the boss fight is quite interesting, so he gets a 7 out of 10 Estus Flask rating from me. The next boss is another demon. Actually just the Asylum Demon, but painted red. It's the demon Firesage. He basically has the moveset of the Stray Demon, which I will be covering in part 2. Difficulty wise, I would say he's as easy as the Asylum Demon. The arena is small, but with enough space to dodge every attack. My enjoyment was also limited, because it was a fight against the same demon, but now for the 3rd time. Anyway, he deserves a 6 out of 10 Estus Flask rating, just like the other demons. This boss is found in the Deep Formless Abyss. It's also a story relevant boss because it drops a bequeathed Lord Soul Shard. It's the 4 Kings. These are the leaders of the new Lono ruins who fell to dark while obtaining the art of life draining. Generally speaking, it's a gang boss fight, because every 45 seconds a new king will spawn and attack you. I found myself not taking that much time, and also they kinda didn't really deal damage. I don't know, some attacks were just as light as a baby would smack me. Except of the one undodgeable spell thingy which deals freaking insane damage. The arena is kinda fancy but tripped me out really bad. Overall, I really enjoyed fighting the 4 Kings, they were a nice challenge. I would give them a 8 out of 10 Estus Flask rating. Moving on to the last boss in this part, the Gaping Dragon. Theories say the Gaping Dragon once was a dragon living in Blighttown, but because of all the toxins it mutated. Now it crawled all the way up to the sewers, where you fight him. Some proof to this would be that he drops the key to Blighttown, and also beneath the pit from which he came from lies a Dragonstone, hidden in the chest. If you don't start with the Master Key, you have to kill him to proceed to Blighttown. he has a medium difficulty. His whole body is the hitbox, so when he starts moving around you are likely to get hit. But he has a weak spot. You deal more damage to the head. You can also cut off his tail and you will receive the Dragon King Great Axe. His arena is a little small compared to his size. Overall, the Gaping Dragon was fun to fight, so I would give him a 7 out of 10 Estus Flask rating. So folks, this was part 1 of rating all bosses in Dark Souls 1. I really hope you enjoyed my video, and if you did, I would again recommend my homie Gachui. I will be working on the second part and I'm trying to release it as fast as possible. I would really appreciate if you consider liking this video and leaving a comment below. I worked really hard on this video, but that was it for today, so see you in the next part.